Started today's session. The topic will be what is full stack developer? What is the responsibility of a full stack developer? And why would we aim to become a full stack developer in SAP? Many times, many of you have been asking me the questions about Anubhav, what is the right learning path? What should we learn? What should we start our learning with? Is it mandatory to learn for ABAPer also the SAP UI5 and Fiori? Is it a good way to start with UI5 or ABAP on HANA? Which technology should we start it first? So all these questions which have been there in your mind, all these important things which comes in your mind, where should we start? There is everywhere confusion around us, and you may be thinking there are too many things to learn. What should be a good start to begin with? All these questions will be answered in today's session. We will discuss the need of a full stack developer. Who is a full stack developer in the world of SAP? Because this is a generic industry term in the software industry. It's used everywhere, and why you should aim to become a full stack developer. So I was browsing through the Naukri.com and I was looking into the salary packages or recent developments or regarding ACP UI5 and Fury, and I find out that there is a rising demand in full stack developer. If you see the typical salary package, companies are really offering a good package of about 23 lakh per annum for people who are being to be the full stack developer. So you may be working only on the UI side or only on the ABAP side, the backend side. But if you are a full stack developer, then you can really uh, triple the experience of your salary based out of your experience. With that also, recently the conferences like OSCON conferences, where Facebook have clearly told that they only hire full stack developers. So with that, people have really sensed that market is going and demanding more and more full stack developers rather than just a back end or a front end developer. So if your expertise are very limited towards that you can do only UI part, or only you can do the ABAP part or the backend part or only the database part, then really you have a big problem. The recent Stack Overflow survey also shows, you can see here in this chart, the higher salary with the fewer years of experience. The people who are data scientists with less experience also, they are earning very good. Just nearby that, you can see now here the full stack developer. The full stack developer, however, is also having a very good salary prospects as compared to just the back-end developer. You can see it over here, and also the front-end developer, which you can see it over here. So people who are full stack developers, they have much higher salary as compared to the people who are just working on the back end or the front end. So this is the future prospect for learning SAP UI5 for ABAP. Now you can clearly see that just becoming an ABAP developer, a back-end auditor developer, will not suffice to really gain such a good salary hike, or going forward being um, in a situation where you can claim yourself a triple salary as compared to your experience. So this is very important survey results which tells you where the world is moving towards. So this was a developer Stack Overflow survey 2018, where you can see most of developers claim themselves to be a full stack developer. Why do they do that? Because the reason is simple: salary will be more for people who are full stack developer. Companies are tend to hire more and more full stack developers, also including in SAP area. We will understand in a minute who is a full stack developer in the area of SAP. Okay, what are all these technologies, and what is that you need to do to become a full stack developer today in the world of SAP? So now you know the need, why there is a need, and why you should target to learn all the things, right? So let's move on now and discuss in terms of uh, whom this video is relevant. If you are just a functional consultant in SAP, spending more and more time with functionality. If you are a BW developer and now facing challenges in your current job. If you are a SAP portal guy or NWBC consultant. You are just an ABAP developer. You are just a HANA consultant, or a UX designer, or a Scrum lead or team lead. This video is really for you. This video will help you to understand where the industry is moving, what are all the technology you should invest into this year, and then you can gain a very good prospect. You can also have a very good salary prospect as well as the growth prospect in coming years in your career. And if you are not really want to do hard work towards this, then it's up to you, your choice. Now coming up next, so basically the development, it all depends on the kind of development you're doing. So as you all aware that we have usually these two types of softwares. One is an on-premise software and one is the cloud software. The on-premise software, where the complete software installation including the hardware infrastructure is owned by the client. So in this case, for example, if you take an example of a really big company, they have all their servers set up, all their SAP servers set up. They have their IT teams who manages this server, who does the installation, security management, who does all the administration tasks. Plus, also they have an in-house development team by which sits in within the company, and they do all that custom development and maintenance and all that for the software. So complete data, hardware, infrastructure, network, everything resides within the company. That's an on-premise deployment. On the other side, there's a new trend since recent year, which has become more and more popular. It's a cloud-based deployment where companies can directly consume software as a service. It's called SaaS, where just like your Gmail, the way you consume your Gmail is like software as a service, mail service, right? So you don't have to install anything in your computer specifically to run the Gmail. Just open the browser up and start consuming the mail service from Google. So that's more like cloud deployment, where there is a subscriber who subscribe to the service, and there is a vendor who gives you the subscription for that service in the cloud directly. So it's directly over the internet. The data, the infrastructure, the computers where the data is stored, the processing logic, all that runs on the over the internet. So that's a cloud-based software deployment. So now, in with regard to SAP area, what are all the solutions we have in on-premise and cloud? So if you look at, we have a typical ECC, which is an on-premise software. We have Business Suite, if you have heard about, which is a combination of ERP core, and then you have PLM, SRM, CRM, and SEM. And then we have Suite on HANA, where SAP have introduced this new innovation called SAP HANA. And now the entire business suite is capable of running on Suite on HANA. And then finally, we have SAP S4 HANA on-premise edition, which is also a product which runs on-premise within your company when you install the same. So these are all the flavors of softwares, flavors of products which SAP has in terms of on-premise. And then in terms of cloud, we have SAP Ariba. This was a company acquired by SAP recently. Then we have SAP S4HANA Cloud. This is also an ERP solution in the cloud. Then we have SuccessFactor and Hybris. Likewise, you may have other vendors also. These products I'm noting down in context of SAP. So of course there are more products which SAP offers, but these are some of the main products which you would see around you. Some implementation is going on, or either people are using it around you. Some people are developing some or the other thing within around these particular modules or these particular functional products. So that's about the product side. Now, what is the technology side? So what is that you would be doing? So in this video, we will talk in context of more of S4 HANA, Suite on HANA, Business Suite and ECC, and S4 HANA Cloud. So these are all the context in which we are talking, because majority of the deployment of ERP is either in one of these areas. So now, as we all know, this is our so-called three-tier architecture, where we have these three layers, the first layer being the database layer. Now this layer is actually converted or used by SAP HANA platform, which is an in-memory database with a lightweight application server in it. So that's your database layer now. So earlier we used to use MaxDB, DB6, or Oracle DB with an SAP solution, and now SAP have introduced a powerful in-memory database called SAP HANA way back in 2012, I guess. So since then, there has been a couple of innovations, and now it's possible to run entire suite, the suite of business logic, all on top of SAP HANA. And then we have our application layer. Now this application layer really have got two parts now these days. So one is called service layer and another is called real application logic layer. So this is all part of your application layer. Why the service layer is required is to expose the services which can be consumed by the UI, which is running actually in the browser. So the user interface is running in the browser. Hence, you would need these services to be consumed. So here in the service layer, there are technologies like ABAP, SADL, CDS views, which you got to learn to expose the services out. This is, I'm talking in context of S4 HANA, ECC, Business Suite, Suite and HANA. Of course, there are cloud-based deployments where you would probably use different runtimes like Node.js. You can use Java to create a REST service. You can use Python. So these programming languages are supported by SAP Cloud Platform, which is again a pure cloud-based solution if you would like to build. So that's something out of context right now in this. So if you are really working on one of the main core SAP products, then these are all the technology you should target to learn in coming days. So you should focus on learning HANA. The basics of HANA is important for everybody because most of the product lines which are now coming are all coming with on top of SAP HANA. And then we have application layer with Core ABAP, which you can write Core ABAP coding or OOPS ABAP coding. You can use BOPF, Business Object Processing Framework. Then we have CDS views, ABAP managed data procedures, ADBC to connect directly to the database, proxy objects for HANA. So these are all the different processing layer artifacts which you can use to write your processing logic for the application. And then you have service layer to expose this data out for the applications. And then on the UI side, we have now dialog programming, the typical SAP dialog programming. We have BSP, Business Server Pages, and WebDintro. So these technologies are now kind of becoming obsolete. So I will cut them up. So they're kind of becoming more and more obsolete, guys. The SAP UI5 and Fiori is the UI technology going forward. The SAP Fiori, however, gives a different experience altogether for every end user. You can run on any device, any browser, on any platform. That's the beauty of SAP Fiori. That's why it's getting more and more popular. So now those who are working on Portal, WebDintro, BSP, or dialog programming, guys, time is gone. Time is ending for you. It's really going to be a difficult situation in your company for you going forward if you are not ready to accept the change, accept the new UI experience, the new UI technology called SAP UI5 and Fiori, which most of you have taken a good step towards already. That is the reason you're watching this video. Because if you're watching this video, which means definitely you are interested to move towards SAP UI5 and Fiori. And the good news, if you are an ABAPer, I have designed a course for ABAPer for SAP UI5 and Fiori, which any ABAPer can come, understand, learn SAP UI5 and Fiori from scratch and start building their own apps, exposing the data from ECC system or be it any system and consume that data and display the data, and also do transactional capabilities like create, update, delete with the help of SAP UI5 and Fiori. So this is the new trend in the market. And then from here, there's a call which goes to backend handled by the service layer. The service layer does the processing, goes to the application layer, and if needed, it goes and talks to the database layer to pull the data. And then finally, this data is sent to the UI. So there are a lot of concepts in SAP UI5 Fiori which we had learned in our courses. We will discuss in detail in during the training course. Now, together with that, since you want to work with these different layers, you want to develop an end-to-end application, you would also be aware of some tools. So tools in terms of ABAP on HANA, we use ADD, ABAP Development Tools, and Eclipse, which is to create these CDS views and stuff like that. Then we have HANA Studio to directly connect to SAP HANA system and do all the necessary stuff into the HANA part. And then finally, we have the main tool, which is the tool of choice going forward, called Web IDE Full Stack. The Web IDE Full Stack actually is pretty well named because it really gives you experience of full stack. You can start from the UI development to the backend development to the middleware development to the HANA development. Everything you will be able to do it with a single development environment. The beauty of this environment is it runs on browser. You don't have to really install anything in your local machine to be able to use this this particular tool. So some of you might have heard about ABAP on cloud. So once the ABAP on cloud is also general available, we will also see, hopefully SAP will provide some features in WebID to also support ABAP on cloud features. So that's about the stack. And if you want to, if you're targeting to learn all these technologies, I have different courses for you. With the help of that, you can really gain the expertise to become a full stack developer. So the main top courses which you should target are three courses. One which includes SAP UI development with SAP UI5 and Fiori. Then we have SAP ABAP on HANA course, where we will learn about HANA in detail, along with ABAP language with CDS views, and then all these concepts related to CDS, BOPF, AMDP, ADBC, and what's new syntax with ABAP language, and all that we're going to learn. So for that, if you want to just go and check it out, you can always go to my website, onlinefiorytrainings.com, and at least you must go to the next batch section over here. You will always find a lot of videos over here for free for your demo purpose. And now you can see these are all the top three courses you must complete. So your starting point ideally should be SAP UI5 Fiori training, and then you should move to SAP ABAP on HANA with S4HANA technicals. And finally, you should move to SAP Fiori Advanced, which includes security, offline application creation, hybrid application development toolkit. We have features for Fiori Launchpad and security concepts, UX designer, build tool, multi workspaces, Grunt.js builds, best practice SAP UI5 builds, and lots more other concepts which are all part of this advanced Fiori course. So this is the flow of your learning if you're really aiming to become a full stack developer and gain that expertise so that you can position yourself in your organization or some other team or organization where you can really make a good salary package out of it. So this is the development plan you guys should follow strictly, and try to aim to complete all these three courses in 6 months. So if you do that in 6 months, that's really a good, going to give you a good expertise and good experience. The beauty of my courses is I teach everything from scratch. I don't talk in terms of big things. I don't give a copy paste of code. Most of the trainers you would observe, they will just do a copy paste of code. They will copy the code from somewhere, paste it, and show you the output and run away. That's not the right way. With that, you will skip out the important statements in the syntax, the important syntax, the important funda foxes related to syntax, like where should you write capital letter, small letter, does it really matter or not, which line is doing exactly what, how the arguments are passed, what is the core of the technology. These things you miss out when you do copy paste of code. So even you're not taking my courses, no problem, but my recommendation to you, when you're learning something, some of these technologies, try to aim that you avoid doing copy paste. Try to do more hands-on, do it as close as possible. And there are, of course, some couple of videos I put on YouTube. You can see my recent video, how to learn SAP UI5 Fiori with ABAP on HANA quickly with powerful learning tips. You can always watch this video, and there are lots of videos on my YouTube channel. You can see this is thank you so much for making this as world's top channel on SAP UI5 Fiori and ABAP on HANA learning. This is the single stop shop for all of you to learn all the technical requirements which you may have today, starting from very scratch, from very basic till the advanced level. If you really want to become a Fiori architect or an architect as such in general, you have to really gain an expertise to become a full stack developer. And this is the only channel which actually showcase you what we have. Most of the time you go to channels, they will tell you, they will deliver you this, that, but they just promise you, but they're really not going to deliver you those things because they don't even have that content with them. So ask them, do they really have that content with them? If you go to my YouTube channel, go to videos or playlist, you will find hundreds of videos which I've given absolutely free, which for which something is somebody else would be charging you. And there is a great learning university which I'm trying to prepare here with lots of free content. Actually, when you not take training, you can actually learn a lot from these videos. So that's the whole idea, guys. You should really try to target, just get a good mentor. Okay, good mentor plays a very important role in our life. If you have really a good mentor, then you can really grow much faster. You will not spend time. Things are there already on internet. Of course, you can learn from internet, but you will be end up wasting a lot of time searching searching the right things to become a developer. So that's about the SAP stack. What you should aim to become or target to become a full stack developer in the SAP arena. If your company is using SAP technologies, SAP products. But what if you want to develop completely something in the cloud, a complete cloud solution? If you would like to build, again, the front end technology will be SAP UI5 Fiori, no doubt about it. Most of the places, be it any product, guys, front end is going to be SAP UI5 Fiori. Of course, your back end may change, your functionality may change a little bit, but it's very, very important to focus on the front end part, which is SAP UI5 and Fiori. This is the first entry point to the new technology. That's why anybody who come and ask me what to choose first, whether UI5 Fiori or ABAP on HANA, I would always recommend to go with UI5 Fiori first before ABAP on HANA. So because many of us are a web background, we are not so comfortable with JavaScript, but the good news, in my course, I will also cover introduction of HTML5, CSS, JavaScript, and jQuery, which is bare minimum for you to get started with SAP UI5 development. Now, if you want to build a complete solution where the industry, that was about SAP, and now about industry, overall industry, where it is moving towards. So if you want to become a full stack developer in web technologies, being trying to build a complete cloud solution with the different cloud platforms, then you can go with these technologies. So you have Angular JS, you have less CSS framework, you have different Ember framework, and you have this Atom.io as a IDE, web development IDE. So these are all the different technologies on the front end side which are really booming in. On the back end side, we have then Java, Python, PHP, and .NET, and we have Node.js. These are all some back end technologies which are really gaining more and more popularity as an end user. And then we have databases as MongoDB, we have MySQL. So these are all the databases which you should know ideally. And then for development on operations, like deployment of your application, managing the lifecycle, managing the dev queue and production system, we have then these cloud vendors who are providing the cloud offerings for infrastructure as well as platform as a service to provide you the runtime to execute your applications. You have AWS, your Windows, Microsoft Azure, your Google Cloud Platform. So these are all some major players in the market. Of course, SAP also has their SAP Cloud Platform where you can deploy your Java-based applications, your HTML5, which is nothing but UI5 based applications, and also you can use development tools directly in the cloud like SAP WebID Full Stack. So those who have no clue what is WebIDE, you can always go to my channel. There is a nice video on SAP WebID Full Stack. Plus, also there is a video on SAP WebID Basics. So if you just go to the channel, you would find here there's a video for ADT, ABAP Development Tools in Eclipse, how to set up. There's a video here for WebIDE Full Stack. You can see WebIDE Full Stack, how to set up, how to get started with WebIDE Full Stack. And then you also have a video for WebIDE Personal Edition, which you can use to set up SAP WebIDE in your local machine and get started with your development. But yet, if you really want a comprehensive end-to-end training, my channel is always open for you. You're most welcome to come and join any of these courses. But try to target, guys, the complete becoming a full stack developer, a complete end-to-end learning. Otherwise, you will be somewhere again in the middle. If you just learn this much, yeah, very good, no problem. But you will miss that some piece of back end part. Like, these days, if you are a cricketer, you have to be more like an all-rounder. If you're just a batsman or just a bowler, definitely it's little tricky for you to get into the bidding and earn some good prospects. But if you are an all-rounder, not just a batsman or not just a bowler, then your chances of getting bid is much higher, and that's what we should aim to do. We should target to learn ABAP on HANA and S4HANA technicals to also learn the backend part. Of course, little bit of backend part is covered in my current training of UI5 and Fiori, where we will also learn building the auditor services. But if you really want to become a champion in terms of both backend, front, and middleware, all three layers, including the database, then this is the choice of course which you should go. And then, of course, the advanced level, which will make you an Fiori architect, where you will learn the UX designer and all the necessary stuff which is coming advanced. We will all learn that in this course. And then finally, if you really want to just become a native database developer, many of the people who are working as a BW consultant or a HANA consultant now seeing a change in industry. People are more doing moving towards native HANA application development, where they're using XSA and XS Advanced architecture. So there is also a course for you which you can take to become a native HANA developer. You can learn XSJS, XS OData, calculation views using WebID, web development toolkit, SQL scripting, all that you can learn with Access, and also the Access Advanced, where we have HANA deployment infrastructure, microservice architecture, all that is covered in native HANA development course. If you want to build a Java-based application using Olingo framework to expose your complete enterprise data via the cloud connector configuration to the backend on-premise system, and then on the front-end side or on the middleware side, you want to use Java with frameworks, or maybe you want to build a complete pure cloud solution where you want to store data all into the SAP Cloud Platform with the shared HANA DB, and having a Java-based application to expose the OData. You can go for the SAP Cloud Platform Made Easy course over here. And then, of course, we also have a course for Hybris C4C, where we will learn about HBL programming language for C4C. So these are the top courses. Of course, if you are a beginner in SAP, then definitely you should move towards a little bit different approach. In that case, you should go with the conventional courses, which is like ABAP, OOPS ABAP, Core ABAP. So never stop your learning. What are you feeding to your conscious mind? That's very, very important. Who is your travel partner when you're stuck in traffic? Are you just wasting your time on WhatsApp, or are you really spending your quality time? Have some goal for you that will give you a good direction to progress faster in the company, because already your colleagues, your friends, they're already learning these courses, learning these things, and they are leaving you behind. So you want to be out of race, or you want to be into the race and beat everybody, beat everyone of your confidence before some of them even get to know about these new technologies. This is going to be helpful for you that you get started with it. Many people come to me and they show a lot of interest initially, but when that real time comes, when the batch starts, they really kind of get engaged themselves in something else. So learning is very important, and you have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in your learning. That's very, very important. That's what will help you to grow. And now you can see there are also, of course, conventional courses like workflow, which are also remaining valid. You have OOPS ABAP. You have want to become an architect, you can go with ABAP objects. Here we learn about design patterns, factory design pattern, template, proxy, facade, com. All these design patterns are covered in this course. So likewise, you can really get a complete expertise end to end with the different courses available here on the website. This is going to be very, very helpful. And those who know me, you all know that my style of teaching is completely different. I always start from very, very basic. The OOPS ABAP is not mandatory though for ABAP on HANA learning. ABAP on HANA learning, core ABAP is important. If you know core ABAP, that's enough to go with OOPS ABAP. Okay. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of UI5 Fiori that you are an ABAPer or you are a BW developer, never done coding in JavaScript. Don't worry. JavaScript is easier as compared to ABAP language. And the second important part here is to understand is it's not core Java. You don't need to learn JavaScript names kind of confuse you. They both are different in terms of technology, uses, and their behaviors. So JavaScript is non-blocking asynchronous IO programming language. It's a web development language. It's a programming language for web developers, and that's very important for you to learn if you really want to become a full stack developer. For full stack developer, JavaScript is must today. So that's also covered as part of this course. You can see here HTML, CSS, JavaScript, three important technologies: HANA, WebIDE, Fiori. Then you have SAP Cloud Platform, OpenUI5, the UI5 framework, and Node.js. These are some key areas, some of the key programming or key techniques or key learnings you should try to target this year to become a full stack developer and really gain a very, very good position in your company as of now. With that, this is a wrap on today's session. Hope you enjoyed it. Please do like, share, comment this video. Please do let me know in the comment box if you want me to create more videos like this. If you have something specific topic in your mind, do let me know, so I will try to post a video on that specific topic. So you all email me, but it's good also if you put comments on YouTube channel here on this video. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so by far, otherwise you will miss such powerful free videos out of this learning university. And if you have some suggestions, if you want me to create a video on another specific thing, you have some question in your mind and you want me to address that via YouTube video, please do write. If you like this video, please hit the like button. If you dislike this video, please hit the dislike button, because your dislike will always help me and give me more room for improvement. Your dislikes always helps me that I have to improve a lot more. And if you like me, then definitely it encourages me to create more and more free content for you and give you more and more insight about where the technology is moving. With that, thank you so much and keep in touch. Thank you so much and goodbye.